Okay, we're going to be installing OSP's new Yamaha Viper float adjuster on our 2014 Yamaha Viper. So the first thing you'll notice is this tool, or this part, is actually going to adjust this belt drop here. So as you can see right now, stock, we got relatively loose belt drop right now, and we're going to show you how this works. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull our stock bolt and spacer. You can see how we got float right now. So we'll pull that off. Okay, so with our secondary removed here, you can see this one has an aftermarket helix, but they all work the same. So basically how you change your belt drop right now is by changing the shim height under these three bolts. These three bolts basically just, whether you have a thick or a thin shim, push open the clutch further or less. So basically to tighten your shim now, to tighten your belt drop, you would have to actually add washers under these. If you take the washers away, you'll reduce it. So when we add one stop's belt adjuster, we're just going to go ahead and remove these bolts and not even put them back in. Because if you put them back in with no washers, then it'll hold your clutch all the way open to maximum, the loosest belt drop setting possible. Okay, so now with the three bolts removed, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the clutch back on the sled. Okay, so now we have our clutch reinstalled and our belt reinstalled with our stock bolts removed. Nothing in the hole yet. And you can tell I've rolled the clutch up to the top. As you can see, now we have excessive belt drop. So this would be actually too tight to run. This would creep the belt and squeal. So now we're going to go ahead and install our belt adjuster. Okay, so now we're going to just go ahead and install it with our collar very loose to ensure we're getting it all the way down on the clutch, seated into the shaft. Then we'll just go ahead and reuse our stock bolt right back in there. And go ahead and tighten that down first. Okay, so now with our adjuster snugged up in there, but our thing's still off, you can now check the float. See, so right there is the actual float of the clutch once the shift starts to happen. So when the belt is being adjusted by this, obviously it's not going to float because it's pushing on. As soon as the belt starts to move, then it allows the converter to be free floating on the shaft, find its center on to the clutch. So now we'll just go ahead, turn this adjuster up. We're going to use our supplied Allen wrench. It's a 3/16 Allen. And you just go ahead, start pushing in. As you can see, it starts pushing on the converter. And a good rule of thumb for by going out and driving the sled, if it creeps at idle, or you hear a squealing, or the sled is real, easy to engage the clutch, then you can loosen this, slightly. And then also, if you find that this sled is really laggy off of the start, like it almost feels like you're starting off in second gear, well, then you can tighten it. As your belt wears, you're going to need to change your belt drop throughout the life of the belt. So it'll always keep you up in the proper position to start. Helps with belt life, helps with everything. So that's how we install our piece. And then once you get your proper setting, obviously just go ahead and tighten this down, and you're on your way.
Now you just simply turn this. We give you the Allen wrench. You make a little adjustment. Boom, your belt's set. Or you can just keep turning it. Open your clutch right up so you can change your belt.